So here's our question. We need to write the equation in standard form that goes through the points 3, -1 and 2, -3. So recall that I need to put it in a different form first. So I'm going to choose to do it in point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. X1, sorry. And first things first, let's find the slope. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is -3 minus -1 over 2 minus 3. -3 plus 1 is -2. 2 minus 3 is -1, which means my slope is 2. So I can replace the 2 over here. And then pick my favorite point. Which one do I like better? 3, -1 or 2, -3? I'm going to go with that one. So this is y minus -1, because that's my y1, and x minus 3. And let's clean up that minus a negative, make that y plus 1. And we have an equation in point slope form. Now, point slope form is not what we need. We need standard form. We need it to be ax plus by equals c. So I need to get all of my x and y on the same side. I need to get the value on the other side. So do some solving here. We're going to distribute that to y plus 1 equals 2x minus 6. And it looks like I need to get this 2x on this side and this 1 over here. So algebraically, I do the opposite. I subtract 2x. I get negative 2x plus y plus 1 equals -6. And then I subtract 1 on both sides to get negative 2x plus y equals -7. And that right there is in standard form. So I'm done. Again, if you had an issue with this problem, if it's still not making sense, please be sure to raise your hand and ask a question before you move on to your assignment so you understand those things before moving on. This is your practice before your assignment. Vertical and horizontal lines. We're just going to briefly talk about this because we've talked about them often before. If I have a horizontal line that crosses y4, notice that this is the place, these are all of the points where the y value equals 4. So if you have a horizontal line going through 4, y equals 4 is your equation. Vertical lines, if I had a vertical line on this spot here going through x equals -2, you will notice that all of the points along this line, the x value is -2. So the equation for that line is x equals -2. I believe you have some questions on your homework tonight that say, go through the point, give me the vertical and the horizontal line that goes through the point -2, 4, right? So give the vertical and horizontal line that goes through -2, 4. So we're actually finding the equation of two lines. This one here, we're finding the equation of the horizontal line that goes through 4, and we're finding the equation of the vertical line that goes through -2. So this vertical line is x equals -2, and this horizontal line is y equals 4. So they might give you one point and say, what's the vertical and horizontal that goes through that? You just break it up. Okay. Last problem type today. Find the missing coefficient in the equation of the line shown. So it says find the a, right? Find a. And it goes through the point -1, 0. So we have a line that goes through this point. and we need to find out what this a value is. So what I want to point out to you here is a is the variable we're looking for. Do we have information about x and y? Because if we can find values for the x and y, we can plug those in, and we can solve for a. So find x, y, solve for a. And as it turns out, look what we have right there. That's a point. It's an x value, and it's a y value, which means I can take these values and plug them in for x and y. So let's do it. Negative a times negative 1 plus 3 times 0 equals 2. Notice now that I have an equation with just a, which means that I can solve for a. And let's do that. Okay, negative a times negative 1 gives me positive a. 3 times 0 is 0, so that's a plus 0 equals 2. So there it is, a equals 2. There's my coefficient. So we need to find the value of a point on the line. That's it. If we have x and y, that is a point, we can use that point, plug it in, solve for a. We've got one last question on your canvas. Please go back and do that question now. The final video has a worked out solution.